Spread joy with craveable chicken finger meals and treat everyone on your nice list to a Cane's gift card or our beanies, socks, mugs, and more. Happy holidays from Raising Cane's. One love.
You're. Tell me we on. Tell me we on, Bukiana. There we go. There we go. Here. My voice is choppy. What she said. I have messaged you a few times, but you ain't. You had told me last time that you messaged me on Facebook, but I don't see no messages from you on Messenger. You still have the same. Well, you have to have the same profile in order for you to write to me. Because I believe we were already friends. Hi, Courtney. Hi, Chinche. Clocked in. Heard you. Heard you, Home Slice. Hi, Ms. Redman. Inversion deck on deck. Yo, this bad boy wasn't even supposed to be here, but it's a long story. So we actually gonna start with this one today. Check the message request. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I will. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna write it down. I didn't even think about that, honestly. All these apps and the way they keep updating them, I forgot that was even a thing. Facebook. I'm green again and I got the star beside my name. We fixed it. Well, let me not even talk. Let me not even talk too soon. But I don't know if this is gonna be a bad thing or a good thing, this shirt. But we attempted to fix it the other day. So even though I'm looking, I'm like, why you don't got the wrench? You only got the star, not the wrench. But we were able to fix what Soraya was talking about. The people who become members can still be mods and members at the same time. Spirit better play nice today. No slaps in the face. No slaps at all, please and thank you. I'm trying to actually get things done earlier in the day. That's the hope today. Friday the 13th. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You know what's crazy? I'm going to actually go to the patio and grab it. But I'm like, Friday the 13th is supposed to be a... Friday the 13th is supposed to be like a Halloween kind of holiday, but it's in December. And so that makes me think of the Nightmare Before Christmas deck, because it's like Halloween, but it's a Christmas movie. So we're going to pull from that deck too. But before I go get that, the inversion. I pulled the glow in the dark for today. And then as a maybe, the African Tarot, because this is like probably my favorite deck currently. Y'all know, the OGs especially know I go like back and forth because it's so many decks and I love all of them. Sometimes I'm more close to this one. Sometimes I'm more close to that one. You know what I mean? This African Tarot, this one's been my baby for the last few months. I can't even hold you. But even before my little hiatus. But we were gonna pull from this one, the glow in the dark. They can't see you. The camera's facing this way. Um, this is the one we were gonna come into today with, and then when I went to the patio to go grab it, I was rushing. Don't do that. And I grabbed this one. When I grabbed it, it fell on the floor, and when it fell, immediately, because the box is like, it's tin, but it's very, the lid is doesn't take much because I guess it's been worn out. It doesn't take much to come off. So immediately when I grabbed it, because in my mind I thought, fuck, wrong deck. So before I even got to like grip it, like I grabbed it off the rack, and then something in my mind was like, let it go, and it fell. And so it stopped me in my track, and I was like, fuck, fuck, fuck. And I was freaking out in my head, but I saw that when it fell on the floor, it opened, it cracked open, and it fell just like this because I didn't shuffle them, just like this. I was because I was moving so quick, I was anticipating for the deck to be all over the place. I thought I was gonna have to stand there and pick up 52 pickup or 78 pickup with the deck, for fucking 20 minutes there, you know, looking for cards and stuff because it fell on the patio, and it didn't. It fell just like that. And so I thought to myself, controlled chaos. I wrote it down. Okay? I wrote it down. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Literally, we're not going to talk about my chicken scratch. I was rushing. Thank you. But I literally wrote it down. And so, controlled chaos, this is how we're going to start out the reading. So before I even tell y'all, because like I said, I didn't touch or shuffle the deck. I left it. I was like, I'm going to just leave it just the way it is and put it right back in the box. We're going to talk about this. So I'm going to run out real quick. 2 minutes. Give some people some time to come in, some time to get situated. I know it's the middle of the day, but like, bear with me. Also, a few people told me they couldn't see the timestamps from yesterday's element reading. So I am going to go back after this is done. Let me write that down too. What was I going to do? Oh, the Nightmare Before Christmas. Hold on. It might get a little bit loud because they're doing construction. Maybe. So just lower the volume a little bit for a second. Okay, let me see. Right here. Bam. And you right here. Jeez. See? All right. I think we might close out with this one. Today. Because I had no intention on pulling this one. But you guys talking about December the 13th, with that, which I knew that was today's date. But for some reason, seeing it in the chat, I'm like, yeah, the deck came to mind. So I know this is not very festive. I was actually going to set up to where I was in front of the Christmas tree, but Brooklyn, tight spaces, wouldn't be convenient, wouldn't be comfortable. So I was like, let me just, they know we in the ghetto on this platform, okay? All right. So with the inversion, which, again, this is the deck. The card that's at the top is the Three of Swords. I don't like that. I don't. I really don't like it. So we're going to tap in. We're going to hope and pray for the best. But I do want to talk about control chaos. And I do want to talk about how someone may even be experiencing that controlled chaos, like internally, mentally, physically, spiritually. Things are very much chaotic. Things are very much like all over the place. Still, it kind of feels like someone's doing their best, trying their hardest to keep some type of control for this chaos. Like I can't lose my shit. I can't afford to lose my shit at work. Somebody also has a plan. And if you don't yet, somebody's watching or somebody will watch, because they're specifically pointing me towards the work aspect. Someone's very unhappy at work. This isn't new. Someone's like, this isn't new. And it's like someone's been unhappy for a really long time when it comes to their job specifically. Even if this is like where you go to work every day, you go into work every day, someone's unhappy, very unhappy. And I feel like as time has gone on, it's gotten worse and worse and worse, because spirit is making me feel like you need a plan. You need a plan. You need like an exit strategy. You need to stack up your bread. You need to lock in. And I think someone's plan, if I'm talking this and this is something that's already, you've already processed this is already like swung by in your brain. Somebody has cultivated a plan already to where it's like, right now, for example, we had the holidays coming up. Somebody may have like small children or grandchildren, and somebody's like, we're gonna do what we gotta do for like the holidays. We're not gonna go too crazy. But like once the holidays spin, like once Christmas is over, it's go time. Like, not gonna be spending no money, not gonna be going out to eat, not gonna be doing certain things. Like, we're gonna be locked in because we're trying to stack up. There's a plan. Somebody has a plan to do something. If this is in regard to work, somebody is very much planning to leave a job. If this is in regard to a relationship, there's the same concept here. It's controlled chaos. Things are chaotic. Things, whether the things that are chaotic is in your head, like your mind, you can't keep your mind like at ease. You can't stop overthinking. You can't stop replaying something, having anxiety towards something. There's something like this, but controlled chaos. I'm going to stay with that. Also, I don't know why they keep pushing me toward this. I mean, I do know why, because it's something that I've written down for the members. It's something that I've wanted to I actually wanted to talk to the members about this yesterday, but I didn't end up going live yesterday with the members. But this is something I've been meaning to like break down with the members. And they keep telling me there's something weird going on with the members. I don't know if it's like with my members, like there's something literally going on with someone who's in the membership, or if that message is for me. There's something going on with the members. I don't know what that's in regard to, but I've been feeling that for the last like 2 weeks. The other thing is the reverse engineering. I don't know if you've ever heard that term, reverse engineering. And so when I talk today about controlled chaos and the fact that reverse engineering has been something that's been on my plate for the last month and a half, coming off that Daniel's fast, reverse engineering is going to be, it's more than conducive. It's going to be more than conducive. It's going to be something that is detrimental for the next few months. And I was saying this the other day. I don't know how many of you guys were in the live stream the other day, because again, LiveMas, we'll be going live every day for the most part. The reverse engineering has been coming up a lot. All the way, like coming, like now, going up into like March, April. I was talking about March, April the other day, which is why I'm referencing the other day's live. I don't remember what day it was. Don't even ask me. But when I was talking the other day about April, March, and how the energy just kind of keeps resurfacing for me, I didn't want to talk about it because, like I said, my intention was to talk to the members about this yesterday when we went live. But this energy of reverse engineering, there's something that has to be undone, but there's a right way to do something, or there's a specific way to do something. Something is either going to be unbuilt, like brought down. They're showing me like a Jenga tower, like the game Jenga, but it's like coming down piece by piece without falling, without corroding in itself. And so again, the reverse engineering, if you don't know what reverse engineering is, I don't want to like go into it, but essentially that's what it means. Google it if you never heard it before and you want like more in-depth meaning, because I'm picking up reverse engineering, but on a spiritual level. And for a lot of us, the reverse engineering is going to need to be extremely tactical, and it's going to be reverse engineering in regard to a few different things, not just one thing specifically. There's a breakdown. In essence, like essentially what I'm saying is there's going to be a breakdown. There has to be, because if not, we're going to experience towers, period. And this is why I didn't want to say this, publicly. I wanted to talk to the members about it. Like, those who get it, get it. You feel me? So I don't know why they're dragging me to doing it this way. But if there's one thing I've learned 5 years on this platform, I don't be questioning shit. I just be doing. That's it. When they say, I do. That's it. That's all. Right? So all of that being said, now it's safe to like look in the comments because I purposely been trying to like avoid the screen because I just don't want to. I wanted to make sure I was getting what I got out. I didn't want to take anything else in. And did I mention we doing like a ghetto vlogmas on the vlog channel? So I'm also vlogging at the same time. But let me turn that camera off so I can get into this reading. Thank you. The multitasking queen, right? Heard you. Heard you. All right. Let me see the comments while I do this. What? Damn, Ms. Redmond, I'm sorry. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Just gave me flashbacks, girl. I'm buying a membership for myself for Christmas. Nice. I had that once when I was younger. The pain is no joke. Yo. I'm dead. I don't know who Frank is, but that shit is funny. My guy said, marry me. I don't care if you crazy. What makes you think I'm crazy? I mean, yeah, a little bit, a lot. It's depleting. It really is, man. Hi, Mia. Y'all may hear Shalisha chewing in the background. My little girl. She sounds so cute when she chews. She don't really got too much home training. Shalisha's a backyard again. And so she just do what she want to do some days, most days. All right. We had that 3 of Swords, right? Not that I got to remind y'all, but 3 of Swords. And we got 2 cards face down. 6 of Wands and the 7 of Swords. I definitely want to say triumph because that's the first thing that comes to mind. But this is also resilience and it's determination. If someone is not willing to stay down, like this is the energy of someone who's been going through some shit, probably even some real toxic, real fucked up shit. But someone is like, this can't hold me. There's no way. There's no way I can continue to allow this to control me, to navigate my journey, my life, my trajectory. Like there's no way. Like I can't. It's gonna cost me more to sit in compliance with this than it would cost me to fight against this, to work against this. You trying to come up? Come on. Come on. I knew you was gonna mess with me today. I knew today was gonna be one of the days. But I don't want you touching the microphone. You want to say hi to the people? That's what it is? She's looking around like, what is going on here? Say hi. Say hi. There's a lot of cat people in the audience. And some people not cat people, but they like you. Yeah. She's like, I'm not impressed. Hurry up with this shit. Wrap it up. Where's my cuddles? That's really what she's saying. That 7 of Swords. Quite frankly, it almost comes off as if someone is like, I'm almost not fazed by it. At least not anymore. At least not anymore. Like it feels like at some point this definitely was winning. The energy was winning for the 7 of Swords. But I feel like today it's almost like someone's owning this is accountability at its finest. Someone's owning their role in something. Someone is owning their karma. their karma. Someone's owning up to their karma. Someone is accepting of something that has transpired, but it's not like you're accepting it and gonna allow it to trample all over you, rain on your parade. This is someone who's accepting it for what it is, being accountable, and making the necessary steps toward changing the outcome moving forward. Like I said, if this is in regard to work, this is someone who has accepted the fact that whatever transpired here, I'm not happy here. I haven't been happy here for a really, really, really long time. I've tried, I've made adjustments, I've tried to work with, I've tried. There's definitely a lot of I've tried, everything I could possibly try. Somebody's like, and then some. That's interesting. So there's an acceptance of that on the table here, but there's also this feeling of being smart, playing smarter, not harder, especially in regard to work. This is someone who's like, let me wrap this shit up in the most productive and convenient way that I could for me. I hate coming here. I hate being here. I don't like being around these people. I don't like doing this job. But this is how I'm paying the bills. There's also this energy of someone who's like, whatever they get paid, because they've been locked in for so long at a specific company or job, it's like, when I get paid here, if I leave it and start somewhere else, I'm not going to be making the same. So again, this ties into like with the holiday stuff, like someone's basically like, let's get over this hump. Let's keep thugging it out right here. Let's stack up this bread and then we move forward, because it is a plan. It is a plan. There's a plan here. There's a plan of execution here with something. I definitely am feeling work related. Like this feels like something to do with work. I'm not even going to hold you. But again, if this is something romantic, if this is something that is like a relationship of some sort, there's a plan. Someone's plotting. Someone is plotting. And I feel like, because the 7 and the 3 of swords is 10 swords. And so it just comes off as someone who is, it's controlled chaos. I'm going to close this out, but I'm going to do this the most, it doesn't feel sneaky, because I'm like, do I want to say sneaky? It doesn't feel sneaky to me. It feel, because let me tell you something, first of all, especially if this is romantic, this isn't sneaky. This isn't your partner has no idea that you're unhappy or doesn't know that, you know, them cheating for the last 9 years was gonna just stay that way. Like, it's not, this isn't something that's like, oh my God, out of nowhere. This isn't vindictively being done. This is something that is very blatant. It's very blatant. This is very much like, this is my plan. This is what I got going on. The thing is, I think it's not secretive, but I think that whoever this is in regard to, whether this is romantic or not, is like, whoever else is involved, they don't believe it, but that's a them problem. So you're sitting there, damn, I had my bliss sticks in my pocket and I don't know where I put it, but you're sitting there and you're telling them, this is what I'm going to be doing in the next 3 months. Because remember, I said this is creeping up to like March, April, this energy. And so I ain't the astrologer here. I'm not. My girl Shayna, I didn't notice her in the chat, but I don't know what's going on astrologically in the next few months. But what I could tell you is that the energy is creeping up until April at least. Somebody's like, I gave you fair warning. If this is work related, you definitely already had this conversation with a supervisor, with a manager, with a boss. They know you out the door. The minute it's right for you, you're out the door. Do they believe you? Probably not, because you've been there the last 10 years, the last 12 years, however long. Again, that's a day problem. 6 of Wands, 10 of Swords. And it was controlled chaos, because like I said, if you were here in the very beginning, the only reason why we're even pulling from the inversion is because of the way that the deck fell out of my hand and then didn't smash all over the place. It literally just came out the box. Page of Pentacles. someone could be teaching themselves something within doing this, or it's this doing this on all in itself is a lesson for someone. Like someone didn't realize that they could do this. Maybe someone was at a job for 10 years because they didn't realize that they had what it took to start over somewhere else. I'm getting $38 an hour here because I've been here and I know how to do this job like the back of my hand. I ain't going to get that nowhere else. And that's what kept you. That mentality is what kept you for the last 10 years there. For some reason now, someone is understanding, like, actually, before I started here, I didn't know shit about this. And so the same way when I start anywhere else, I may not know much about it. That don't mean I ain't going to be better than even the people who've been there. Like, I got that. I got that in me. I can do that. There's a sense of, at some point, someone was doubting their ability for whatever reason, because I see now that I don't see the doubt anymore. Like someone now is like, I got this. It's also too a seasoning. It's like someone like being seasoned. Like I'm older now. When I started there, I was like 21. Okay. I'm in my 40s now. I'm in my 30s now. Like I got life experience. So there isn't a job that I can start that I'm going to be totally oblivious to. I'm grown. I know my right from wrong. I know how to use my intuition. Like I know common sense shit. Like I can learn anything. Like I would not be surprised today if we don't see the Queen of Wands. Then again, as I'm saying that, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't, because this is heavily the Queen of Wands energy. But for some reason, I don't feel like the Queen of Wands has a need for or wants to be on the front of anything. Like, I don't think someone wants the attention. I don't care for the attention. As long as I can execute this, I don't give a fuck who's paying attention or not. So when I said I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Queen of Wands, Spirit is like, no, it's the Queen of Wands, but she doesn't need to be seen. She's good. Like it is her energy, but I don't see her in the front here, which is interesting. The Page of Pentacles was someone learning this. So I don't know what took place that this is even a thing now, but someone's learning this. Someone's learning now, like, oh, okay, this is what it is. Someone's being put in a position, or someone has been put in oh shit, Six of Pentacles, as I'm about to say this. Someone's being put in a position where they're going to experience something that they caused someone else to experience. So it feels like karma, right? It sounds like karma. Somebody's like, if it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck. No. See, because the thing with this is that, number one, it's not being done intentionally. This isn't you did something to someone, so now they're doing it to you. It's not intentionally being done. And for a lot of us, whether this is a romantic message or not, because it doesn't have to be, but for a lot of us, whoever you did something to, or whoever you caused someone to feel something, it's not them that's going to cause it to be done back to you, or cause for you to experience it. It's not happening with the same person. This is like, for example, at work, because again, I'm not feeling this romantically. This is coming in like in a platonic way. There's a lesson that's going to be learned here with the Page of Pentacles. And someone was an A1 employee. Someone had it in the box. Someone was doing everything. Someone may have even been doing a little bit of other people's jobs and finishing their jobs, right? On a day-to-day, this feels like, because somebody's like, every day, I heard you, on a day-to-day, right? They say they're going to leave the job. Come February, I'm gone. Come January, come that new year, I'm out. Even if I don't have a job waiting for me because I've been stacking. Come March, I'm out because I've been stacking. It's that energy. Again, I don't feel like they believe you. And so when it's time for you to go, the karma, because it's Six of Pentacles, but for some reason, they're making me feel like this isn't, and it's karma, but it's not karma that's being done blatantly. Someone doesn't take control of, why are you confusing me? I'm like, why are you confusing me? Because it feels like someone it's when you leave the job, you are in control of initiating their karma, because it's you leaving the job that's going to light the switch, flick the switch of their karma starting out. I just don't feel like it's intentional. So that's what's fucking me up. So there's somebody here who's like, I'm leaving, I'm leaving, I'm leaving. They leave the job. They didn't do, and they did what they said they were going to do. They didn't do anything malicious or anything like that. They left amicably. They left the right way. They gave their 2 weeks, 2 months, however long notice. The thing is, whether they get someone to replace your position, the person that's replacing your position comes in and it's like, again, this is a hypothetical, an example. The person who comes in is like, I'm going to do my job that I get paid for, nothing more, and maybe sometimes less. I'm most certainly, you can't pay me enough to sit here and do your job and your job and your job. No, we're not doing that. They had it made with you, and they're not gonna, I think that, because I was gonna, bless you, I was gonna say that I don't think they realize this, but I think they do realize this, which is why I feel like someone has gotten very comfortable with using you. Someone has gotten very comfortable with not being appreciative of you. Someone has gotten very comfortable with you being uncomfortable. And so when you told them you were leaving, or when you told them you were going to move on from something, in the back of their mind, they knew, if this bitch leaves, for real, we're kind of fucked, for real, like in a real way. Because even if we replace her, we're not going to get what she's been giving. That means we're going to actually have to do our job if she leaves, because she's been doing it for us. And so there's an understanding. It's deep. There's an understanding here for that. I obviously don't feel like they're going to admit that. If this is romantic, it's the same exact concept. This is you telling someone, I'm not happy with this. And instead of me telling you, I'm not happy with this, I'm going to continue to give you chance after chance after chance, like I've been doing. I'm telling you, I'm not happy with this. Nothing you can do at this point is going to change the narrative. So at this point, I'm just putting my shit in order so that I can make my move. I think that the person that you're saying this to knows that you're dead ass, but they don't want to believe it. In their mind, it's like, whatever, bitch, you've been leaving since 1993. Like, where you going? You're not going nowhere. Please. I also feel like there's a big sense of, because it feels there's a responsibility here where somebody is like, I don't think they're taking responsibility. I don't think they're taking accountability. Not really. But they understand. It's not like they don't know. It's not that they're oblivious. They know that what they've done is why you're leaving. If it's a job, they know that they've been unappreciative. They know that the way they're running that company is fucked up. They know that it's not fucking conducive for shit for nobody. Like, the company is they're making me feel like this shit is, you won't believe it unless you were here on day to day. Like the stories, somebody's telling me the stories I go home with every day. My spouse, my kids, my roommate, whoever thinks I'm fucking be making this shit up. Cause like there's no way the shit that goes on in the office on a day to day, the stupidity, the ignorance, the laziness. Like, somebody's like, you just wouldn't believe it. It's the same concept if this is a relationship, and it doesn't have to be romantic. It could also be a platonic relationship as well. King of Cups and the Nine of Cups, which is 10 cups. This could also be going on at home. I just said that. This is a 10 of Cups. This is a 10 of Cups. I don't know if this is the same, like within the same scope, or if this is something unrelated completely, because there's an energy here of someone who is hoping for the best, but they're not even expressing that. It's the King of Cups, right? So I'm with my wish fulfillment. I'm hoping for the best. I know what I feel. I'm locked in. Like, I want the best for this, but I'm not delivering verbally at all. I'm not expressing to this person. I'm not sharing. I'm not communicating effectively. Like I'm not delivering in that arena. Three of Swords is still on the table. In a sense, what this person is doing is causing the chaos. This is someone's deliberately causing the chaos that's ensuing or will ensue within their own family dynamic. This is someone who had it all or could have had it all, and then it's not even like they fumbled it. Again, they're showing me the Jenga. Before we were seeing controlled chaos, something coming apart piece by piece in a controlled manner. The controlled chaos may actually be someone's emotions. So someone's not sharing, someone's not being expressive, someone isn't adding value to what they are deeming to be valuable to them. Someone is not adding value to something that they are saying, are claiming, are deeming to be valuable to them, but they aren't actively adding value. Sooner or later, that controlled chaos, because now I'm looking at it like something imploding. That controlled chaos is going to implode. The Chariots, the Eight of Swords, can y'all hear me? Because yo, Queen of Wands. And the Page of Wands, because the Queen of Wands literally fell on my lap. When I said before, originally I said I wouldn't be surprised if we saw her. And then I retracted and I said, you know what? She doesn't need to come out. She doesn't feel the need to come out. Somebody here is going to play the victim for as long as they possibly could. Like, yo, I'm talking about till the fucking wheels fall off or something. Like someone is going to drag something and try to make it seem like they're in a victim situation. Again, if this is the job, it's like, how could you leave us like this? I'm not going to give you no good recommendations moving forward because the way you left us, like, how could you do that? Blah, 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 blah. Like, bro, you know I was leaving 2 months ago. If it's a relationship, it's the same concept. Same concept. Oh, how could you leave me with these bills? How could you leave me with this? How could you do this? Blah, 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 blah. The kids, the dog, the fish, whatever. But it's like, yo, fam, you knew I was not happy for the last 2 years. And for the last 6 months, I told you I was getting my shit together to move out. You didn't believe me. That was on you. I feel like someone is, it's almost like someone's trying to start a fire to get the queen to come out. Someone's going to fish for a reaction, collective. Be very careful not to give them the reaction they're anticipating. Play chess. They playing checkers. I cracked the deck. Y'all saw that, right? Look who's back. The King of Cups. Somebody could be emotionally manipulative or trying to manipulate you emotionally. And this is as a last resort. Someone knows that their control, they no longer have it. Someone knows that this Queen of Wands has learned to control the chaos that's been their life. That's been their emotional state. That's been their mental state. Someone now has control of their own shit. And whoever is in this King of Cups position, it feels very manipulative. And it feels very vindictive. It's emotion, right? This King of Cups. This King of Cups is an energy of someone who, if it's a man, because it's a king, right? So if this is a man who acts like a female when he's upset, catches tantrums and shit. But this is somebody who's been up until this point calm, cool, and collected. This is somebody that up until this point They've been in control of their emotions. They've been nonchalant. They've been non-communicative, right? Do what you want. Leave if you want. Fuck it. This is like you telling someone you're going to break up and you're going to be moving in the next 2 months. You're looking for a place. They don't believe you, or whatever with their ego got them sitting there like, oh, well. They literally watch you get your shit together, and then the minute you're out the door, all of a sudden they're like losing it. But you had 3 months, 4 months, 3 years, 2 years, however long, 2 weeks. You had time to talk to me about this. You had time to say something. You had time to do something. Like there's no, like, why someone, the Queen of Wands, I'm like, is she surprised? I don't feel like she's surprised, honestly. I don't feel like she's surprised. I just feel like this, and the Queen of Wands could be a male. The King of Cups could be a female. It's just the energy. But whoever's in the Queen of Wands energy doesn't feel surprised. In fact, the Queen of Wands energy feels like she kind of anticipated it, that it might transpire this way. And so in the case that it did, in the event that it did transpire this way, I feel like the Queen of Wands may have had it's not a plan, but it's like, I got a better idea of how to deal with this in the event that this continues to happen. That's what it feels like. Because the Page of Wands is under the Queen of Wands. The Lovers. And Judgment. Holy shit. This deck, though? The Judgment and the Tower. Whoever this person is, that is being or has been extremely vindictive, manipulative, this is about to be a really fucked up time for them. Up until this point, someone really thought that they were in control. Up until this point. I got the Three of Wands and the Hierophant. Up until this point, the polarity of this would be, up until this point, someone really felt like they had no control. Someone really was struggling to control the chaos. Someone really was struggling with getting past certain things or being positive about certain things. Someone really was struggling with this for a while. So the first three cards were face down. The Wheel of Fortune, wow. Wow. The Magician and the Seven of Swords again. Someone for a while was really struggling with making the best out of a Seven of Swords situation. They were struggling with it. And with the Seven of Wands in the reverse, that's how it fell out. And then again, face down, Strength. Wheel of Fortune, the Magician, and Strength on the table. I think someone might have been giving up. What's at the bottom? The Eight of Wands at the bottom and the Seven of Wands is 17 wands, I believe. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's 15, which is a Six of Wands. Someone was struggling with this. Struggling to make a change, struggling to stick to the change that they said they would make. Someone could definitely be a Leo, or something's gonna pop off in Leo season, or has popped off in Leo season. Judgment and the Eight of Wands. Someone's gonna gain confirmation about something that, this is interesting. So this is like if you had a problem on your hands and you were thinking to yourself, damn, this is what I probably should do, or this is how I should handle this. Excuse me. And you were doubting it, or you were second guessing yourself, especially validation. They just threw the Two of Swords out on me. It's like a little bit of cards here, like maybe 3 or 4 cards right here. But what I can see so far is a Two of Swords, which validates what I just was saying just now. Because I feel, first of all, the 7 with this 2 is 9 swords. And so somebody here had this like, yo, I don't know how to address this. I don't know how to handle this. I don't know how to move forward with this. I don't even know really the depths of like what the 7 of swords is. Someone was stressing this. Someone was stressing the fact that they didn't know how to change something, if they could change something with a Fortune, the Magician. Someone wasn't aware of just how strong they were. Someone was feeling the opposite of that. Someone was like giving up on something. Someone is also leaving behind control. It's not losing. I was going to say losing, and they stopped me and they changed the whole word. Instead of losing control, someone is leaving behind the need or the desire to control the outcome of something. Someone is releasing it. Someone's putting their faith in their own resilience. That's the feeling. Fuck it. Two of Swords, the Fool. If this is pertaining to one person, if this is not romantic, and like, even if it is romantic, or even if it does have to do with work, whatever, the message here, because they're locking me in. It's like, listen, fuck everybody else, right? I'm the queen of saying that shit. Fuck everybody else. We in this chat today, we in this reading today, this message is for us. This is about us. The Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands. And we were seeing the Queen of Wands with that King of Cups. The manipulation with the King of Cups, with the King of Cups, with the King of Cups. For a lot of us, the King of Cups is us. It's a part of us that's lying to ourselves and denying us our own strength. It's on the table. Denying us our own magician energy. It's on the table. Denying us our own ability to shift like a motherfucking shapeshifter with the Wheel of Fortune. To see the Fool and the Two of Swords collective tells me that this isn't the Fool, and I always say this about the Fool. I always say this about the Fool. The Fool is one of the majors that, for us on this platform, he kind of goes under the table. Like, he comes out de vez en cuando, like, you know, here and there, he comes out. We never really, in the 5 years that we've been here together, we've went in on the Judgment. We've went in on death. We've went in on the Tower. We've went in on the Devil. We've went in on the World. We've went in on Justice. We have went in on Justice. Like, we have went in on the Magician. Like, we've had our fair share, right, in the last 5 years. The Fool, off the top of my head, the OGs could probably correct me in the chat, but like off the top of my head, the Fool has been probably one of the only majors that we have yet to unpack. I don't know what that means moving forward. Because if I'm being honest, not in the collective reads, but in the personal reads, the Fool has been coming up a lot. To see the Fool with the Two of Swords, I always say, the Fool isn't a fool because he's taking or she's taking a chance on something that they completely are unaware and oblivious about. The Fool isn't stupid. The Fool isn't actually foolish. There's faith, there's understanding, and there's a lot of compassion behind the Fool. It's like, even in the event where this doesn't go the way that I'm intending for it to go, My ability to clean up my own mess, I'm really like that in real life. If I fall on my face, I really lick my own wounds. I don't turn around and have my hand out to nobody got to support me if I fuck this up. I will figure it out. I don't sit there, cry in the corner, and point the finger at anybody else when things don't go my way. I really am like that. I do what I need to do to make sure I'm good. And so, if there's anybody who can be in a position to make decisions as impulsively as the Fool energy, because that's the thing, is the impulsivity with the Fool card, it seems to other people like this shit came out of nowhere. But the reality is, all the T's have been crossed and all the I's have been dotted. There's just one thing left to do: take the actual step. That's the Fool's position. And if I'm not, as I'm saying this, I'm thinking to myself, and I'm like, you have, this is probably, because even strength, we've discussed, we've went over, we've spent months on these energies. The Fool card is probably the only one that we have yet to discuss, or one of the only ones. It kind of just goes under the radar. It comes out, like I said, de vez en cuando, like sometimes here and there. It's never something that we really like hone in. Even cards that were not the King and Queen of Wands, King and Queen Petty have been on my list since like year 2. We're 5 years in. Okay. Reason why I went on that little tangent isn't just the Fool. It's the Fool and the Two of Swords. Because what does the Two of Swords tell us? The Two of Swords, I always read it this way. The Two of Swords isn't something that you are oblivious to because you don't know it, you don't see it, you don't understand it. No. The Two of Swords is something you are making sure that you're oblivious to. So it's something you already understand. You're not dumb. The swords are in the upright. You know this is not a good idea, or you know this needs to be done. You're just choosing. If I can pull off on this and like push it away for a little while, the longer I could push off on it, and I ain't got to decide, or I ain't got to make up my mind with this or that, or I don't got to say anything in stone, like, let's do it that way. For me to see the Fool with the Two of Swords, the Two of Swords, ironically enough, feels like it's validating the Fool energy. I think that where other people may be comfortable and find comfort in the Two of Swords, the Fool is taking those steps. That's kind of going to leave the Two of Swords more in shambles than it already was. It's one thing, right? It's one thing for someone to say, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to look at this. I don't want to clean this mess. I don't want to do that. And I said, I don't want to clean this mess. And Spirit is like, there you go. Perfect example. This is someone comes in, their cubicle is a fucking wreck. And they're like, oh, I don't want to do this right now. I'm not trying. Let me go to the snack machine. Let me go do something else. I'll get to this mess later. And then the Fool comes in, and the Fool's like, let me get to this mess real quick. Let me get to the, that's the difference between the Two of Swords and the Fool. And the Two of Swords, let's not get it twisted. The Two of Swords is the majority. So whoever's in this Fool position, or whoever's stepping into the Fool position, this isn't new for the Fool. It's just new for the majority to witness what the Fool is enduring firsthand. Because what happens is, while the Fool is taking that first step in cleaning that mess and bringing some control to the chaos, because that's how we came into this reading today, right? Controlled chaos with this Zek, right? Then someone else comes back to their cubicle with the intention, Two of Swords, I'm going to avoid it again. But now when you're thinking, no, I'm going to avoid it again, in the next cubicle, the Fool is running around like the Tasmanian devil, cleaning up their mess. It's almost like, damn, now I got to sit here and really clean this. Because I can't, my shit can't be in shambles if their shit is going to be clean. It was comfortable to leave my shit in shambles because everybody around me was also in shambles. But if you cleaning up, my shit can't be fucked up. because now I'm going to stand out like a sore thumb. Somebody here who's in the full position is pushing, causing a la mala, they're telling me. This is something that's like, and it's effortless for the fool. A la mala comes in for other people. Oh, I don't know who I'm talking to here, but this is somebody's life story. This isn't in regard to a mess, singular. This is in regard to my life. Somebody's like, this is my life. I get into relationships with people who are in shambles. And even though I'm not perfect, I'm willing to rock through my shit. I'm working through my demons. I'm fucking. If you've been with me for a minute, yo, if you've been with, and I think the live is still up. If you've been with me for at least the last like 3 years, you were here for the beatboxing with my shadow. Yo, I didn't live. I still to this day have not lived that download down. People still tell me like, yo, you're still out here beatboxing with the shadow. That's who the fool is. The fool is somebody who has found peace in their journey. I can't control everything. But for the things that I do have some control over, I got to make the best of it. I got to make it as comfortable as possible for myself to get certain things done, and not comfortable to the point where I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. No, just comfortable enough so that I could get this shit done. It's a mess. I done piled this shit up for the last 20 years. Notice somebody saying taking accountability. I piled this up for the last 20 years. This is my mess, but I'm going to sit here and pick it up. And so nobody could tell the fool shit because the fool is doing it. This is going to make other people very uncomfortable, collective. That's why I said this is somebody's life story. Somebody's telling me, yo, I have been in relationships with people who never wanted to be accountable for their own shit. And so it triggered the fuck out of them to be that close to me while I'm being accountable for my shit. It makes people uncomfortable when they can't point the finger. It makes people uncomfortable when they try to point the finger and I already shed light on my own shit. Because now what happens is anybody else, what they're going to do is now look at you, because why are you pointing the finger at them? They're already doing their job. They're already doing their work. They're already taking care of their shit. But now I'm focusing on you, because why are you worrying about what they do and what you got going on over here? And this is in regard to romance. This is in regard to work. This is in regard to family. This is in regard to friends. Somebody's telling me this is my life story. I've been living this for a long time. And it is the fool. And between the fool and the world, I don't listen, and the magician. I just be making up my own shit, right? I just be making up my own shit at this point, because when it comes to the world, I always associate the world with like the positive aspect of Capricorn energy, even though I know the devil is Capricorn's card. But I always associate the world with Capricorn's energy, like the light side. When it comes to the magician, I've been talking about this for the last 5 years. The magician to me is this month, is my Capricorn Sagittarius, or Sagittarius Capricorn cuspers. I ain't gonna go into like a whole detail, but like the magician for me has always been that, right? The fool for me is always Gemini. Ni me pregunta why. I don't know. I read intuitively. I don't know the semantics of like all of it. I read intuitively. However, it's air energy. It gives me air energy, and it gives me heavy Gemini. I do want to touch on that really quick, right? Because I'm not saying that I'm talking to someone who has to be a Gemini. It could be, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Gemini energy. When you're young, or when you're young in the journey of like learning about certain astrology and this and that, when all you know is the zodiac signs and the fucking little horoscope that's in Time magazine or in the New York Post, right? That's as much as you know in regard to the zodiac stuff. You look at Gemini energy and you think a two-face. You think dual personality. And then you grow up and you learn, right? And you understand that Gemini energy is probably one of the most detrimental to keep in your pocket. Because with Gemini energy, the Gemini energy is able to do something that not many of the other zodiac energies can do. And I don't even listen, I don't even think I have Gemini placements besides the Gemini house in my chart. So I'm not, anybody who's new here, I'm not bigging this up because like my man isn't a Gemini. Like I'm not doing a Gemini thing because, that's not what this is. I'm strictly talking because of the full energy. I'm still on this. I haven't moved past this. When you look at Gemini energy and you start to learn, and I may be talking to someone who is a Gemini because this may be someone who's learning this about themselves, understanding this now about themselves. The ability to switch, shapeshift. Didn't I say that? I feel like I said that, right? The ability to do that is one that is not, you know how when they do like when they play like basketball and shit and they have to pick, like there's two coaches and or two team captains and they have to pick, right, from a group. That shape shifting energy, aka Gemini energy, is usually the last one to be picked. Why? Because the coach or the team captain never wants to be in control of or in possession. Fuck control, because you can't control Gemini energy. That is the problem that most people see with Gemini energy. You cannot be controlled. You are the wild card. I don't want you on my team because I never know what to expect. And in the event where your intuition tells you something, you're going to go with it. You're not going to wait for permission. You're not going to ask opinions. Like you're going to do, look, a ti te da la maldita gana. That's what you're going to do. And so most times people are afraid to work with you. They are hesitant to be close in proximity with you, right? But it's that catch 22, right? Because in the same respect, this fool is the only one actually getting things done. I don't know why. They just sent me on a whole like thing. But they did. Also, really quick before I move on, because there's another big point I gotta make, which I hope I don't take 20 minutes to do it because I'm pushing it for time. With the full energy, there's an understanding here of, for example, if I have believed something for the last 20 years, if I have done something for 20 years, this has just been what I do, or this is just what I believe, or this is just what it is, right? And then one day, 21 years in, I realize, that doesn't resonate with me anymore. An average Joe, like the average human, has a really hard time, even if it's something that you said publicly. Today, especially with cancel culture, it's like, God forbid somebody changes their opinion. God forbid somebody changes their mind. God forbid somebody changes their feeling on something. As a human, in this human experience, it's very hard for the average person to be like, damn, that thing that I went so hard for, I don't really see it that same way anymore. I don't really feel it the same way anymore. Gemini energy, and again, I may not even be talking to a Gemini, but someone who has that ability to do that is shapeshifting, essentially, is what this is, even if it's not physically being done. Gemini energy don't give a fuck enough to worry about what the masses are saying about what Gemini is doing. There's beauty in that. And I know that a lot of people, it's scary, right? The unknown is scary for people. For most people, the unknown is not very well perceived, right? And so what happens is, again, going back to the example of the team being chosen and how the captain is fearful of choosing the Gemini is the last pick because, bro, I can't control that. I can't contain that. I never know what's what with that. There comes this part that's added into this where it's fear. It's fear based. I'm afraid of what I don't know. An evolved captain, I'm gonna be a little bit biased with this, but I'm gonna say like an Aquarius captain, like myself, or maybe even a Libra captain, because the air signs is one thing about the air signs. And I know there's toxicity in every zodiac. There's some toxic as Aquarius is the most toxic. Okay. I know that. But overall, the energy surrounding air, we get it. If there's one thing that we are, like as a collective, the air energy, we get it when it comes to other air signs, right? And so, what I say that I mean is it takes a really special type of captain to make a Gemini the first pick because there's beauty in, I may not know what this motherfucker's gonna do next, but what I do know is that number one, if they're doing it, there's a reason. Whether they're feeling it here or they're feeling it here, or there's a sudden connection between here and here, and they're on the court, so they don't have the time to be like, yo, captain, can I switch the play? Like, there's a sense, first of all, this feels like security to me. It feels like heavy security where it's like, yo, that's my first pick. The Gemini is my first pick because the way you can shift like that, I'm gonna need that on my team. Because if there's one thing life has taught me in my 30, almost 36 years, is that you can make, I literally have it right here. I was just saying this to myself, which is crazy, my planner. You can make a whole thought out, well adjusted, well rounded plan with a backup and a backup for the backup. And in 35 years, what I've learned is that whatever your plan is, whatever God says or the universe says, whatever you believe in, whatever the higher up says is the actual way things is gonna go, that's the way things is gonna go. It don't matter what you got planned. It don't your play, right? If we're talking like, a team, a basketball team, a football team, the play that y'all worked out and practiced for the last 6 months to play against the other team that's deemed the best team in the world type of shit, that strategy, all of that, out the window once you're on the field. Once the game starts, right? Once the whistle blows, every man for themselves. And so who the fuck, why would I want somebody on my team that's gonna go play for play? That the other team is gonna already know, like these motherfuckers is going straight A, B, C, that's what they're doing. No, I want a Gemini. I want something that is, and it's not a Gemini, but it's like the Gemini energy. I want something that is can shapeshift at the drop of a dime. I'm making the play. This is the play we practice. This is the play we set our hopes on. But you know what? I see somebody coming in from the left, and this play ain't gonna help me. But if I shift and I move, and this is what I'm gonna do now, I just got us a touchdown. And in that split second, you're able to make those choices. I'm using sports as a metaphor. I just want to say that because this is pertaining to someone how they're moving and maneuvering in their life day to day, the job that they work, the spouses that they are with, the people that they are around. There's someone who's like, when this resonates, it resonates, and the minute it no longer resonates, I'm ready to spin off. I'm ready for what's going to be the best outcome. Someone may be coming into this space now. This may not even be something they may have been, because we did see the King of Cups, right? And so again, if this whole reading for this last hour that I've been talking shit, because I pulled all these decks, right? Where the fuck I thought I was pulling all these decks? Where? Because I'm literally, Spirit said my plan was here, and Spirit said no, this deck. So if that's not a perfect example of the hour that I've been speaking, I don't know what is. Someone may have had this, and this ability to do this, and they may have been suppressing it with the King of Cups energy. Remember, I said the King of Cups will be imploding if it hasn't already. This has been true to someone. Someone has no desire to conform. Someone has no desire to be indoctrinated. Someone has no desire to go with the flow like a dead fish. Someone has no desire for that. Period. And I feel like whoever I'm talking to never had the desire to do that. This isn't new. Someone may be now living this out, but this isn't new for someone. I got the King of Wands and the Five of Swords. When I tell you that this whole time we've been talking about the Queen of Wands. And when I said the Queen of Wands may not come out, yada, 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 and then we saw the Queen of Wands, I said, be careful, because other people are going to be doing things to egg you, to get you to come out. I said, be careful. And now, before we even wrap the reading, we got the King of Wands here. This is the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is who this person used to be. And the reason why the King of Wands, Queen of Wands person has been away and cultivating and literally cooking, they've been cooking, they've been brewing, is what they've been doing. Okay, we're back. My bad. I was getting a call. Like I said, I'm pushing it with time. This King of Wands was the Queen of Wands, is the Queen of Wands. Someone's evolved. The thing is, to see the King with the Five of Swords, when they were in their Queen of Wands, they couldn't be bothered. They were in that part of the journey where they were like, controlled chaos. I'm going to keep my anger to myself. I'm going to keep my shit to myself. I need to make sense of this. I need to clean up the space. I need to figure certain things out. I need to decide what resonates, what doesn't, etc., etc. I said this yesterday too. There will be people that are still going to test you. Biggie, right? More money, more problems, right? A higher throne, more peasants at your feet. And not even peasants, but it's like more people that are doubting you, right? More people that are like waiting at the bottom of the hill for you to fall off that throne, right? The higher the mountain you're on, type of shit. In the event where a king needs to get off of his throne, listen, the King of Wands is the one king that got the anger problem. The King of Wands, I'm blowing this whole shit up. The whole thing. You want to play? Like, the whole thing could go into smoke. I don't give a fuck. I got it once, I could get it again, and I could get it 3 times over. So when I tell you, and I said this yesterday, just because someone has made peace with certain things, just because someone has moved forward with certain things, it doesn't negate, it doesn't take away the fact that there's still going to be certain things that are going to surface. There's still going to be things that, there's still going to be tests. The universe is still going to test. People are still going to test. The devil is still going to send tests. I think for a long time, I think, if I'm being honest, I think that someone was sleeping because the Queen of Wands was, someone might have made, because if I go back to my downloads of when I said, it's about to be 2 years from when I said protecting the Queen of Wands at all costs. That came up not last May, the year before in May. I'll never forget it. So it's about to be 2 years. Where I got that download of protecting the Queen of Wands. And I think there was a heavy need to protect the Queen of Wands. It's like, even though she was confident, even though she was very much able to do certain things, to get past certain things, there was this energy of needing to protect that part of us and not have the Queen get her hands dirty. But at some point now, for some of us, the King of Wands may be a whole different person, and it may be somebody who's willing to do the fighting for you, protecting you as a Queen of Wands. For some of you, you may be the King of Wands doing that for someone else. But for a lot of us, the King of Wands is us. There was a reason why when we were in our Queen of Wands, why we were quiet. There's a reason why we weren't going to entertain certain shit. There's a reason why we weren't going to explain stupid to stupid. We weren't going to do that. Now, with the Five of Swords, you already know the Five of Swords to me is somebody, the bear being poked. And so when someone slaps the bear's hand and the bear turns around and rips off the entire arm, that's the Five of Swords energy for me. And then don't turn around and cry to me that I did the most, because you should have kept your hands to yourself. It's interesting, right? Because even as I'm saying this, I've thought to myself, me, the reader, on my personal journey, I really struggled with that. I really struggled with that for a while. And I even went into my own hermit energy in regard to like, let me get certain things in check. Let me make sense of certain things. Maybe this particular belief, maybe that hasn't been the way. Maybe I've been wrong. So to see the King of Wands popping out for the first time in this reading to close the show, and he's popping out with the Five of Swords. Maybe sometimes collective. I mean, we give people karma in a million other ways, right? With that Fool card, we're shedding light on things and initiating karma for other people without even doing it intentionally. You know, sometimes if you gotta come out, rip off somebody's arm because they had you fucked up, then you know maybe it is what it is. I don't know. I don't know. I got the Sun and I got the Ace of Pentacles. The Sun and the Ace of Pentacles. I low key, still, I'm supposed to be done, right? Like 10 minutes ago. But let's pull like at least, I'm gonna shuffle. And instead of like letting cards fall, I'm gonna pull 3 cards and then we'll wrap. Because I just feel like, don't play with me. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Seven of Wands, 7 of Candles, 10 of Swords, 10 of Needles. We started with both of these cards. The difference is we started with the 7 of Wands in the reverse. We started with the 10 of Swords as a 3 of Swords, 7 of Swords. Someone was still in the thick of it. Because now we're seeing both of them, the 10 of Swords as a whole and the 7 of Wands in the upright. And the next card being the 2 of Wands. What's the difference from now and what we saw before? What's the difference? The difference is somebody making the choice for themselves, 2 of Wands, to end the shit that needs to be ended. To just cut out the rotten apples, the fucked up dead skin, the fucked up weeds. Get them out. King of Wands, 5 of Swords. If you got to cut the arm off, cut the fucking arm off. What are you waiting for? It's a toxic friend, a fucked up partner. It's fucked up family members that don't need to be family members that don't need to be around your kids, right? People that don't like you, that don't need to be around your children. It's like that. The difference is the 2 of Wands. The difference is before, we saw someone being passive. We saw someone who maybe it's not being passive. Maybe it's someone maybe someone had bigger fish to fry. Maybe someone was more so focusing on their internal shit, that a lot of funny shit was going on around them. The Queen of Wands did have to come out. She didn't stay out long though. And when the King of Wands came out, he came out with a vengeance. The King of Wands coming out with the 5 of Swords tells me everybody who had me fucked up, when I was fucked up, God forgives and I don't. I do not. Which is interesting because when I saw these 3 cards, that's the first thing I thought. And look at Spirit. The bottom of the deck, the Page of Potions, which is the forgiveness card. It is the forgiveness card. There's going to be things, collective, that you're going to have to go through. There's things that you're going to have to say. There's things that you're going to have to terminate. There's things that you're going to have to make peace with. There's things that you're going to have to move past without getting answers about. There's things you're going to have to move past without having closure about. And in order to survive, you're going to have to be okay with the fact that you may never understand. You may never get it. But the choice with the Two of Wands is you stay in the uncomfortability. You stay in that Seven of Swords, Three of Swords, which should be the Ten of Swords. You stay there with the Seven of Wands in reverse. Or you make it to where the Seven of Wands is in the upright, that Ten of Wands is whole, the Ten of Swords is whole. The choice is yours, collective. The choice is yours, but don't get it twisted. That Seven of Wands in the upright and that Two of Wands is a Nine of Wands, which was the first card out yesterday. The Nine of Wands was the first card out. This isn't going to be something that you're going to be able to attain in a humble way. You're going to have to fight for what you need, for how you need things to be, how things need to, like, you're going to have to do some legwork with the Nine of Wands. You're going to have to be aggressive. You're going to have to be aggressive. You're going to have to be stern. You're going to have to be assertive. You're going to have to be the bad cop. You're going to have to be the King of Wands. You know, when they say you got to be the change that you desire, that's this. This is just not the Disney version. No pun intended, right? This is just not the cartoon, funny, cute, cuddly, inviting version of that. You want to see the change, you have to be the change. The family has to go. The friends for 20 years that are not in alignment with you, they have to go. I'm very triggered hearing those messages because I feel like for the last 5 years, we've been tapping into those messages for the last 5 years. That's not spirit being repetitive. That's you, me, us. We are being repetitive. Spirit saying the same shit for 5 years because we are still doing half-ass with what we're needing to do. That's why this is coming up still. Collective. What I wouldn't give to be able to see these fucking comments in live time right now because my fucking iPad turned off. We're not judgmental here, okay? We're not gonna judge. We're not. Cause I'm already like, a bitch didn't even do her hair for this live. Like, I just was like, you know what? In true me form, y'all gonna get me how I is, okay? My shit ain't charged. My hair's not done. I don't got a bottle of water on the table. Like, it is what it is, okay? Okay. Collective. I love you guys wholeheartedly and I fuck with you guys the longest way. If anything resonated here, please do not hesitate to hit that like button. This is going to wrap up day 13. There are no words. There's just no words. Collective, we will be back tomorrow. I think I'm going to do early tomorrow too. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, I will do my best to make sure that the link is posted ahead of time. And I will catch you guys mañana. Si Dios quiere.